learn. Now, to say it forward, Mr. Noel Pabiona.
On my way here, there was heavy traffic. So I said, to pass my time while there's traffic, I might as well type in some of my thoughts about why is it that sometimes people in authority are more prone to compromise their integrity. Nakakalungkot kasi, di ba dapat people in leadership, people in top positions are supposed to be our models, are supposed to be examples. But why is it that before they reach perhaps the pinnacle of their career, the top position, they were okay. But when they reached the top, all of a sudden they started compromising. I listed it down because right now I'm heading a huge organization and I can feel a lot of this pressure right now that I wrote here in my phone. And I wrote down here, why are people in authority susceptible to compromise their integrity? Well, number one, because rules can be easily bent for people in power. Wow. Di ba ang dali lang? Pag ikaw presidente, lahat pwede. If you're the head, if you're the boss, you can get away with certain things. I remember I have this conversation with my wife. Now, I belong to an organization that actually works with children. Now, before anyone could visit those children, you have to seek permission from the office so that they can guide you in how to visit the child and provide you guidelines in dealing with the child. Now, of course, the people in the office thought like, wow, asawa ni boss yan. Pwede na nating tulungan yan kahit na hindi siya pumasa doon sa number of days lead time na kailangan. I was just wondering, why would you do that? If that was my wife, then the more you should apply the rules to her in the same manner that rules apply to me. Pero doon ko na-realize na kaya nako-compromise yung integrity of people in power is because the people below them are more than willing to bend the rules in order to ingratiate themselves to the person in power. You get that? Di ba pampalakas eh? Or probably they just don't want to be in disfavor with the boss. Well, second is that you have a lot of liberty with very little accountability, especially on moral grounds. If you're in the top position, you got a lot of liberty. Now, I know in some companies there are some discretionary funds that they can just use and liquidate in accordance to how they justify it. And of course, there's a lot of liberty there. But they can use it for personal purposes or for personal gain. Now, but that's true. You have a lot of liberty with very little accountability, especially on moral grounds. Of course, third, you got too many privileges. And those privileges can be just abused. Why? Because sabi nga, hindi ka naman chine-check katulad ng mga iba. Nung manager ka pa lang, yung expense account mo, tatakot-takot ang checking. May resibo ba to? Official ba to? Saan ba to nagpunta? But if you notice, if you are at the top, you are the big cheese, you're the boss, there's more liberty or there's more freedom in the way you spend things, and they are more lenient in the way they check your liquidations. For example, I was given a gasoline allowance. Now, that gasoline allowance is very, very generous. Now, what I did was, when I was doing the company for 2 years, I actually listed down mileage painstakingly. Residence to office. Ito yung starting mileage, ending mileage. After, hindi naman 2 years, after 16 months, 1 year and 4 months, the accountant decided to talk to me and say, and with the accounting manager, Sir, baka naniniwala kami na nililiquidate mo yung official lang. We already know the level of gasoline that you use. Can you just please stop this mileage, and we believe and we trust you that you will be prudent in using your privilege. Now, have I abused that? Of course it's subject to abuse. For all they care, I can actually go to Baguio with my family for personal purposes, come back, use gasoline that can be charged to the company, and nobody will question that. Pero, what we decided, integrity. We have to maintain it. Because integrity is who you really are, even if no one's watching. That's who you really are. Nobody's watching over my shoulder whenever I put in gas. What we do is we only liquidate what is official, and if we travel for personal purposes, we put our own gasoline. Kaya nga yung guideline ko sa aking secretary, sa aking assistant, is that if that gasoline expense was charged using the company credit card, that's official. If you see receipts that are paid for in cash, that's obviously my own expense. So privileges, hindi lang yon. Maski pagkain sa labas, pwede mo sabihin, kausap mo official, pero kadate mo si Mrs. But integrity demands that we don't do that. I remember, and I actually, as I've told people before, build a means of accountability around you. I always tell my assistant, if I'm liquidating and you find a receipt questionable, go straight to me and ask about it. Because it's true, sometimes I get careless. There was a time that my assistant came to me and said, "Sir, you don't have this appointment in your calendar, but you have this receipt at Conti's." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That is a personal counseling session with our friend from GCF. That is not official. Take it out. I'm sorry na naisama dyan. That was not intended." Of course, another thing that I listed down here is sense of impunity. In other words, I'm the boss. I can get away with it. If somebody's going to check on me, I can actually fire that person before that person touches me. So, anyone who can report can get it from me. No? Well, these are the things I listed down. That's the reason why people who reach the top are tempted so much that many of them, many of us, are tempted to compromise their integrity. But let me remind you that when you reach the top, it doesn't mean that you have to abuse your privilege for being there. God put you there for you to be an example to everyone. And if you maintain your integrity going up, the more you should maintain your integrity now that you're on top. Why? Because people look at you, people follow you, and culture flows downward. When you're corrupt, the other people will learn corruption. But when you're honest and you live a life with integrity, the other people will follow you and believe that this company headed by you is actually a company that believes in maintaining integrity. Thank you.